Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk about why most doctors don't know shit when it comes to testosterone and steroids. I'm talking about your average family doctor or a physician. They might have learned about it, in med school, and they definitely know about it. They know all the hormones and what they do, whatever. But when it comes to application of medicine and TRT and hormone replacement therapy, a lot of them don't know shit. They're not formally trained, and a lot of them just go by the book. And I'll give you an example of something that's happening currently to me. And I've heard a lot of horror stories online of people who go for TRT and they get some, female physician. And the female physician for replacement therapy is giving the guy 50 milligrams a week, once a week of testosterone. And it's just what the hell are you doing? These people know nothing about it, right? You know what I mean? I've heard stories where they give the guy just one shot, tell him to do one shot every 2 weeks. And it's what the fuck? They have no clue about concept of a half-life of testosterone cypionate. It's only 5 days. So the amount of fluctuations that's going on there, they don't know shit about that, all right? So a lot of times they just say every 1 week or 2 weeks out of convenience more than anything, but it's also out of not knowing what the hell they're talking about as well, okay? And I'll get to my story, which is I was taking underground lab stuff, and then I got this family doctor. That's what we have in Canada. So I got a new family doctor, and he's asked me what medications I'm on. I said testosterone. And then I inquired whether he could prescribe it because I'm doing, underground lab stuff and I wanted to go the safer route, blah, blah, blah. And that was almost a year ago. Well, anyway, over the course of the year, he's got me to do blood work and things, but the blood work doesn't even go for what the things you should actually know, whether you should be on TRT or not, which is follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone, which mine is at 0. But everything that he's got on his blood panel, I've done 2 of them so far, has been just seeing whether I'm a healthy person or not, which is good too. Whether my creatinine levels and my lipid levels and my blood cell count, which is important to know when you're taking steroids in general, which mine are all fine. Yeah, thyroid hormone, etc., etc. But there's no luteinizing hormone. There's no follicle stimulating hormone to determine. Those are the hormones that are produced in the pituitary gland that communicate to your gonads, your testicles, whether to produce testosterone or not. And right now, mine are at 0 because I know this because my online clinic I'm going to now, they did measure that, right? And that's how they determined whether I should be taking testosterone or not. Because if your body's not producing testosterone, you're essentially going to go into a diseased state. You'll have a form of disease, which is hypogonadism or andropause. It's menopause for men, but way worse. Andropause, where your body's not producing testosterone and everything downstream from it, everything will get fucked up. My marriage would be fucked probably because I'm having no sex drive. My job would be fucked. My training would be fucked. Potentially my bones would be brittle. It could have irreversible damage. So, long story short as well, my doctor wants me to go off testosterone, my medication, for months at a time to then redo blood work for some reason. And it's just why? Why? Does not make sense. So I'm going to his office right now. I tried to call and I couldn't get through. But it just shows you that these people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Because it should be as easy, and he wants to refer me to some specialist to determine it or not. As a doctor, he should be able to see that I have no follicle stimulating hormone and no luteinizing hormone in my blood work. So therefore, I need to be prescribed exogenous testosterone because my body's not producing it. It's that simple. If it would be the same thing if my body is not, if I was a diabetic or something, my body's not producing insulin properly or whatever, I need to take fucking insulin, right? It's the same shit. That's a hormone as well. Otherwise, I'm gonna fucking go, diabetic, whatever it's called. When diabetics could fucking die, hyper sugar levels or some shit. Well, anyway, it's I'm kind of pissed right now, but I'm also not. Because I just understand that it's out of ignorance, and that these people aren't properly trained for these types of things, and as well, there's a bit of stigma against it still. some might be coming around. I thought this guy was cool and like he understood about it and things, but like about what it was. But there's still a stigma attached to it, especially when it's a relatively young guy. Like, one thing if it was a guy who's like 65 years old, but if like a guy who's like 41 years old, like me, they still might have a stigma against doing that, or they might be fearful that, you know, they might be practicing malpractice in doing so by, you know, just giving random guys testosterone, you know what I mean? And I'm sure it's out of like he's doing it out of like his own like morals and ethics, right? As a doctor, what he believes in, but he's missing the valuable information here because, and again, he just doesn't know. He just did like he just gave me a standard kind of blood panel, not one that actually measures what you should have been doing, right? So it just shows you, you know what I mean? I've seen other cases, I've heard of other cases where potentially somebody's creatinine levels are a bit elevated and they misdiagnose him as having kidney issues. It's just because the guy's he's just a bodybuilder and he's like producing massive amounts of like more than your normal person, right? So everything, sometimes they just gauge things off of what the normal is, and if you're like a athlete and things, you're outside of that normal zone, or if you're taking steroids, right, you're outside of the normal zone. So, you know, I've also heard of situations where somebody told the doctor asked like, how much testosterone are you taking a week? Like 100, and then the guy said like 800, and they just about shit their pants because it's like, wow, like why aren't you dead? They thought like that, but they don't realize that, you know, people can take that much. Obviously, it's not. I wouldn't recommend that either, but like they don't even realize like that, or like, so there's issues with how much they think you should have or not. Like that they'll likely go on the more conservative route. Like if I went to my family doctor, he'd probably prescribe me like 100, but really I should be taking like what I'm currently at, like 150 is like my ideal. I know that just based on my own experience. So yeah, there's that. I'm gonna go into his office right now. It's just up the street here, so hopefully I can get in and see him. I'll report back what the verdict is, if there is. If not, I'm just going to leave a message for him because I got a message today from them on my voicemail. But yeah, like I think it's just out of ignorance, and it's because they're by the book and they just don't, and it's kind of a stigma thing, and they're still afraid to like maybe do malpractice. So I think it's just a culmination of a number of things. But hopefully I can go in there and kind of educate him a bit without coming across to like a dick telling too much of a dick telling a doctor what he should know about medical things and what he should prescribe something to me. So I'll try to do it a bit light, indirect, and do it lightly at least, not coming across like a dick. Saying you should be doing this. This is what you should be doing. This is what you should know. You know what I mean? Because otherwise they'll just get defensive and they won't do it. So anyway, hopefully I can educate him nicely or leave a nice message for him to look at my luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone, because that's literally what. Everything else is great to look at in a blood panel, seeing that I'm a healthy guy, like great. But it's like two things to determine whether you need testosterone, because without those your body doesn't produce testosterone normally, and I have zero. That's been determined already, so I'll refer him to the other blood work I had done, and hopefully he'll come around. So we'll see how that goes. I'm just pulling up to it right now. So thanks for watching, guys. Peace.